All right, folks, welcome to Daybreak, and this fellow right here is out for blood from Team MVP and the country of South Korea. In the red trunks, playing Zerg to the northeast, it is DongRegu versus his opponent, currently up 1 game in this best-of-3 series and looking strong to continue in his tournament of choice. From the team of TSL and the blue trunks playing Zerg to the southwest, it is Hyun.
All right, and this last game, we saw both players playing really greedy. 15 hatch each on Ohana, which are fairly close positions. I'm really going to be really curious to see if they both play greedy again.
Okay.
If they both understand each other well enough. Like, well, we both want macro games. We're not going to do a 10 pull. We're not going to do a 9 pull. We're going to just fight and kill each other later on.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what happens here because the best-of-3 mindset is really odd, especially in a mirror matchup. And sometimes they do crazy things. It's sort of like, you know, I'm down 1, I'm going to 8 pull, I'm going to 9 pull, and we're going to see where that goes. But that is not something we're seeing from either of these guys. But the question is, do they go pull or do they go hatch?
And this is an elimination game. This takes this. Oh, look at that! You see that drone? Hyun controlled the drone. Looked like he was going to go up, maybe make a pool, do something like that. Just decided no. Go back to mining.
Okay.
There it is. So now he's going to do a hatch, not a pool. That's such a risky thing. If I lose 1 game, if I trust DRG not to 10 pull me for my tournament life, that is.
Both, there's an unspoken gentleman's agreement between Korea and Zerg. It's like, thou shalt not 10 pull on Daybreak. It will not happen. And as we can see, both these guys going for hatch. All right, so for the next couple of minutes, absolutely nothing is going to happen. So let's talk a little bit, I suppose, about play styles. Now, in this situation, would you think DongRegu would attempt to be the aggressor once again? Is he going to try and take up immediately to Mutalisk and try the same trick twice? What would you expect from him?
All right, well, DRG's getting gas first again, and he's going to be able to tell probably that Hyun isn't doing it. This time I wouldn't be surprised to see either a full all-in. Last time he just brought Zerglings and just put a little bit of pressure. I wouldn't be surprised to see him actually go for it there, or just not at all. Just play very passive, maybe even just send 4 Lings out in front of the Overlord. Just to see if Hyun will overreact to, oh, Lings again, that sort of thing. Hyun, on the other hand, last time he was forced into Roach Infestor, Roach Queen, that sort of thing, because of how far ahead those Lings gave or put DRG tech-wise. This time, maybe Hyun won't get as far behind. Maybe he likes Mutas. I would love to see Hyun versus DRG Muta Wars.
That would be cool. That's like we could make a custom map of that. Hyun versus DRG Muta Wars, endorsed by both players. Nothing but a map to learn how to control Mutalisks. Like maybe you could have a special Mutalisk that would gain powers and things like that. There's ideas there. It's almost as good as the idea that we had for a custom map whereby you basically play a free-for-all and all of the unit abilities and attack powers are scrambled and everything is blocked out. You don't know what your unit does until you build it.
Huh. Like a Zergling with Storm, perhaps?
Yeah, exactly. This is like, I want to see that made. That seems like such a hilarious map.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, we got to get that made. I'm going to go talk to my map maker when we get back, and maybe we'll finish Troll Battles. Anyway, so as you can see, we're filling time because nothing is happening right now. Both of these guys playing very, very standard. Hyun, this is tiny little supply blocks every now and again for Hyun. It's really interesting to see that. I mean, if you compare it to like a player like Stefano, he'll go up to supply cap and build just 9 overlords, and then not really have to worry about it. Hyun, I think, like plays so tight that every now and again there's a few seconds where he gets supply blocks. He obviously wants to build something, but he can't. I don't think that's really hurting him at all. I guess it's more of a stylistic thing.
He might be under a little bit of pressure. He's going to have to play the biggest matches of his life really soon in GSL. And he's already had to play a bunch of games here. Maybe he's not used to the time difference. He had to fly to Vegas, foreign country, foreign language. Same for DRG, but he's more used to it.
Yeah, DRG's been out to quite a few foreign events.
Just a few.
He almost essentially lives in America now. It happens, so he's not too concerned. But you're right, actually. There's been some very interesting discussion on the matter of people like Hyun who are honestly not... They're not regulars at foreign tournaments. Like Innovation is another example there. It's like, how is Innovation's play being affected by the fact that he is now in America and really doesn't have any experience whatsoever playing in foreign events?
That's a very good point. Innovation lost to Violet, and I don't remember who else. But
he lost. Yeah, the Violet game actually was incredible. Like it really, really was. It was so good. And the thing is that Innovation actually played perfectly In the first game, he played perfectly, and he started on an 11-11 Rax that was instantly scouted, and yet he won that map anyway. So that's just impressive. I mean, Violet was able to win overall, but that first game was just phenomenal. All right, we're getting a little bit of a Ling run by right here, just scouting, nothing else. Those, of course, will not accomplish anything. Does he see anything in the main base? Well, he's got a spot layer timing. He's going to know his opponent's got a Baneling nest, so it's a little bit of useful information nonetheless. The question is, what kind of tech are we seeing? Well, Roaches on the way here for Hyun and +1 missile attack.
Yep, and on the flip side, DRG is saying, well, I had mutas, they didn't do so well last time.
Let's try it again.
Yep, exactly. A lot of times it's kind of a standard build. He's going to make the same amount of Lings, Banes from here, wouldn't be surprised, and he'll save up probably 7 mutas again.
Yeah.
That's how good DRG is at his build orders. It's very, very practiced. I would be very surprised to see really more than 7. He's just going to take his hatchery and really try to deny this third from Hyun. Well, he just tries to hold it.
Yeah, let's see if he can pull it off. 20 Lings coming out here from DRG, so it is an identical build. Initially, it's like, we're going to get aggressive. Got to see what we can do. There's already Banelings on the way from Hyun, so Hyun is also pretty confident that he knows what's going on. He's seen the gases taken on the natural here. He's thinking, right, okay, probably a 4-gas build, probably Spire at this stage. So he's now going to push forward. There's a couple of Banes in the composition here as well for DRG, so this could be a little bit of a sting in the tail. Let's see how good these trades are. That's the most important thing. If these 4 Banelings don't detonate well, then damage could be inflicted here.
Yep, and it's a lot harder in most cases to be the defender here. Look how difficult it was to control that. Yeah,
it really, really was. That was a pretty reasonable trade there in DRG's favor. I mean, it wasn't as good as it could have been, but it wasn't too bad. The Ling's already kind of getting into the fight here against these Roaches. Baneling's now coming in to connect. That's a complete surround, and the Roaches go down as well. And a nice attempt to... Oh, no, wow, they popped out just in time. Good lord, DRG was almost going to have that. And he wants the Queen. The Queen says no. Oh, more Lings coming in. Queen's going to die. Queen's going to die. Down it goes. There we go. However, the third has not been taken out as of yet, and it won't be, but pecking away at it is going to really, really help those mutas as they come in.
8 on the way. He did get the Queen. The Queen's not going to be having extra energy. Hyun needs to be putting up some Spore Colors. He's just putting up 1. This is a whole bunch of area that DRG can go with these mutas to kill him. He's being forced back, though, because of these Zerglings, maybe these few Roaches. This time, he's not even going to try and kill the third yet. He's saying, I'm going to wait, play really passive, and then
6 Spore Crawlers coming out right there. That's a lot of Spores, and 3 Queens as well. Then I mean, that's almost a win for DRG in and of itself, really, because that's just so much defensive stuff that's been built that won't be attacking DRG anytime soon.
Over 1,000 minerals spent on defense.
Incredible. That's like, you know, this guy is essentially the United States of Zerg. Political. What do we have, however? This aggression coming up to the third. Just going to pick off a few Overlords here and there. That was actually a really good pickoff, because that's a serious supply block there for Hyun. He hasn't even started building another Overlord as of yet, but I guess he anticipates losing some units here, and he might. There's a Ling run by going to the natural.
Wow, still not building another Overlord, losing another Overlord, still not building a new one.
This is actually really bad.
Yep, this is a choke, guys. Yeah. Just a little bit. This is all the pressure that you're just putting on with these mutas. Happens to everyone. Happens to Hyun. Like, oh, it's an amazing thing.
DRG is quite the player. Like, this is how much he cares about Spore Crawlers. Not at all. It's just like, I know I can micro around that auto-targeting. I know the ways and means. He didn't even take that much damage. He was killing things off underneath 2 Spore Crawlers, and he did not care. Now, what's he going to do? Well, he's actually adding on more drones. He's not just going all in on Mutalisks. He's going to add some tech. He's looking for Roach speed and a transition to Roach Infester.
Yep, Hyun making 8 Infestors, which is going to kind of be a bank for him. He's investing in the future with that energy. In the meantime, DRG, though, is getting an extra hatchery. That was something we saw last time, where Hyun banked like 1,000 minerals, and this game, it's not really the case, but still, there's only 3 hatcheries, I think, available for Hyun to make larvae.
Yeah.
And again, we looked at the drone count. It's much lower for Hyun as well. So Hyun kind of playing for the really, really late game, where DRG is going to say, like, he's going to take that 4th already, and he's probably just going to try and focus on denying the 4th of Hyun with all of his Roaches, his Mutas, and Infester.
This little maneuver here was neat. I liked it a lot. The idea that he brought an Overseer in so he could actually just break the connection of creep. So reactions would be a little slower for Infestors and Queens moving in. It's not a huge thing. I just think it's neat. That's the best way I can describe it. It's kind of cool.
I like it. It also prevents him from expanding creep out from the 3rd. Like, that creep would have continued on.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to get... Well, maybe we're going to get a free Baneling. I guess not. Doesn't
just
want
some
it.
Health.
So I don't want your free Baneling. Get away. Don't want your charity.
Yep, that's actually like a small thing where, okay, DRG's a little bit afraid. He doesn't want to lose these mutas yet. He wants to keep these Overlords alive. He wants to trade them properly for energy.
Yeah.
He just can't if he loses them right there.
Yeah, so he's going to stay away.
Yep.
He could dip into the main, potentially. And there are a couple of areas he could hit, maybe take out a drone or two, work on the extractor perhaps, but that would also mean that the mutas are out of position, and no doubt he'll want to be doing a nice big attack. Oh, a free Overseer would be absolutely wonderful. He's going to get it as well, so that's absolutely great for him. And oh, it's another supply block for Hyun, actually. That Overseer actually represented some supply, and we're seeing, there we go, 4 overloads actually in production. Hydralisk being added on, the classic composition, Roach, Hydra, Infester, and we see no sign of, oh, there it is. Hydralisk then coming in for Hyun as well.
I feel like that would be a little bit earlier. There's such a beautiful Overlord, I guess, surround. Those Overlords are kind of encamping Hyun's base, and he's only now getting Hydras, and when he attacks, Hyun has to kill him. There's nothing like, well, he can only do a lot of damage. No, his army has to, oh, those Infestors.
DRG playing with fire right here, quite clearly. Even a couple of Infested Champions going down to say, nope, you cannot be here right now, but what do we have here? A very large Roach force indeed. Roaches with speed, and a advantage, in fact, for DRG in terms of numbers, but his opponent's Infestor count a little higher.
Yep. That's the late game that he's trying to go for. DRG just saying, no, stay in your base. I want to have my 4 bases up for a while before you can even get close to that. And these mutas now really being ineffective.
Yeah, they're kind of blunted, really. I mean, he'd have to add on a few more to reliably take down those Spore Crawlers without taking too much damage. In the meantime, posturing in front of his opponent's potential 4th base, hasn't gone into attack yet. And of course, when he does engage, he's got to do it right, because he's up against Infestors.
Yep, exactly. He's going for a Hive. A lot of times you'll see Zergs play into like Nidus to dropship, maybe put a few Infestors in the main, even try and burrow around with Infestors to do some harass. DRG really saying, no, I want to play safe. I have 4 bases. I think when we engage, I can take you to the macro game, to the late game, and win. And Hyun thinks the same thing. He thinks, okay, my Infestor control is better than yours.
Oh, who is right? That is the real question about this one. Overseer checking a few things out here and there, and a lone Roach is going to gain some interesting information there. It's like, all right, that's where his main force is. I spot Hydralisks. I see Infestors. I see Infestors with energy. Yep.
Something. Okay, there it is. I was going to say, if DRG doesn't, he has to use these mutas.
Yeah.
They're like 12 supply. That's going to be very weak in comparison. So got to use them somehow. Preferably even suiciding them, and remaking Hydras is a better choice than just leaving them alive.
Yep, and he's going to get a few drones for this, actually. You know, that's not bad. And DRG's really been working on his opponent throughout this entire game, so that's okay. That's a decent trade, I feel, for useless units at this stage. And there we go. Grooved Spine is on its way up. Does Hyun actually have Grooved Spine yet? I didn't see that being researched. Maybe I just missed it. Let's try and find out. We're about to find out. Yes, he does. There we go. He's got the range 6 on the Hydras, so that's looking pretty strong. So we're going to get this big engagement, and we are actually going to see Broodlord as a possible transition after this.
Yep.
It's a weird one. I don't know about you. Maybe I've just been watching too many old ZVZ games, but I don't see Broodlord that often in this matchup.
On Daybreak, it's a really good choice. Ultras would have to go through lots of, like, the chokes aren't that big. And imagine with all these Infestors, like, you can kind of wall the Ultras in with Infested Terran walls. Yeah. So in this case, it's usually pretty standard for Broodlords on Daybreak.
Okay.
We're going to see an engage. It has to be soon, right? Like, these Infestors, full energy, they're not going to get any better. Like,
no.
He's not making any more interest on those Infestors. Gotta do something with them.
I'm liking this position here for Hyun. However, DRG is smart enough not to move up the ramp with his entire army, so he knows moving up there against Infestors is really stupid, so he's not going to do that.
Poor Baneling.
Well, I guess he didn't want that, Baneling. It's like, yeah, here we go. Just throw yourself at this roach. It's like, it's this really, really lame attempt at killing a roach. It's kind of pathetic. Once again, we see drop coming into play here. Interesting potential, and this game is going to take a turn for the wacky quite soon, I think.
It seems so. Both players saying, "No, I really don't want to attack. I'll just bank."
Yeah.
We can call peace treaty here.
Yeah, between Zerg Brethren, absolutely. Why not? A little bit of a roach run by here is going to kill off precisely nothing whatsoever, and Hyun is able to eliminate that. But he brought his entire army back for that, and DRG has gone past that ramp now. Or at least he would. He's going to leave it. No, there we go. He's going to stay on the ramp. It's like, are you really going to give the ramp back seriously after all of that? No, that seems unnecessary. So
I feel like this is political. I feel like they each have territories, and if you cross that territory, we're going to fight. But until that, no, we'll just keep our.
There's going to be sanctions going on, like trade embargoes are going to be occurring. Like, you definitely cannot get bananas from the Republic of DRG.
Exactly. And
hello, what do we see? Yes, I love Nidus Worm. Nidus Worm is the best thing in the world.
He's doing both. He's going to be able to like drop and Nidus Worm.
Why don't we have both? Absolutely. Why not? No reason why not. Nidus Worm is in a good position here.
Yep.
And let's see what he can do with it. Now, I'm having a look around to see. Overload placement actually is kind of bad here. This Overseer may very well be able to pull that one off. Was that a draw? Oh, I love you, DRG. He did a spine trick. The spine trick. That's wonderful. I haven't seen one of those in ages. He now has 211 supply because he's a horrible cheater. It's brilliant.
How dare he hack this game? They're only
Absolutely.
supposed to have 200 supply.
Yeah, that's pretty great. I love it when he does that. That's really, really cool. Now, this Overseer is the sneaky one, but the Queen is there. It's like, oh, okay, well, Queen DPS is really, really bad. A second Queen should be enough to kill this, though. That actually, Nidus one was utterly ineffective. Baneling comes and like, let me have a turn, let me have a turn.
I just want to kill something.
It's like, please let me die. No, it's fine. Now the engagement is going to eventually be forced to happen. DRG has 210 supply and the biggest army I've ever seen a Zerg player ever have. So, actually the second biggest. Nerd Joseph's bigger. But one way or the other, this is going to get really, really messy really fast.
Yep, and Hyun is going to want a base trade. As odd as that's going to sound, like, I can't see his army winning here. The Broodlords just provide too much extra DPS.
This is silly. I mean, I can't call this. It's just a million infested Terrans being lobbed either side. 17 infestors are being built by Hyun, as well as 7 Hydralisks. This is a great position for these Broodlords to be in. Now, that's a bunch of freebies here. And, well, looking at the supply count is the only way to really tell after that engagement. Yeah, that was a solid win for DRG, no question. Yep. Really solid, in fact. I mean, with that many units coming in, the army of Hyun essentially got crushed there. And these Broodlords, there's just no answer to them.
Yeah, they're just like staying in this little invincible area.
Yep.
Just helping. They're not going to run into Broodlords.
Nope.
There's no political embargo on the amount of Broodlords that those guys can shoot, and I don't see 17 investors being able to help pull them back. We're going to see a game 3.
We are going to see a game 3, and that's a wonderful thing because both of these guys are fan favorites, and they're putting on a rather entertaining display, to say the least. This game's just gone crazy at this point, with Hydralisks now marching in, and oh no, the Nidus one will die before being able to do anything. It's such a horrible thing to see. All the infestors being brought in. This actually could be really bad for DRG. He's got to get out of there. It's like, oh yeah, all my Hydralisks are at the front. Oh, there's a Nidus. He got... hang on. No, how did that live? The Nidus is actually being built. There's no response coming in here. Hyun somehow got the Nidus worm up.
Who would kill a Nidus worm?
What? Huh? This is about to get really bad. There's a second Nidus coming down. Hyun's actually got units in the main at this point in time. This wasn't supposed to happen. DRG is very, very worried. Another Nidus is coming down to replace that. And suddenly, all the infestors have made their way into the main base of Hyun and DRG and are starting to do as much damage as they can. But it is infested Terran versus infested Terran. It's proxy soldiers going on here. Down goes another Nidus worm. I'm not sure how effective this was, but it was damn funny.
Indeed.
I'm going to go with not effective at all, actually. GG. And there we go. Third game. Yeah, he likes us. He is an entertainer. He wanted to show us the Nidus worm. It's like, I built this Nidus worm, and I'll be damned if I'm not going to get to use it. And there we go. It's 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see a third game in this Zerg vs. Zerg series. I told you this would be a ZVZ to watch. I wasn't kidding. This is great. This is just silly. Oh... I don't know what it is about Stream 2 and mirror matches, but we had this great game, this TBT, Pulp versus Yoda, which was incredible last night. And now we're getting a really great